Good day, Dr. Swan. Being one of our esteemed long-time clients, we appreciate your presence here. Throughout the presentation, we encourage you to share your thoughts and questions. My name is Karthi Shukla, R&D Head, and I'm here with two of my colleagues, Himanshu Tyagi, CTO, and Spandan Ghosh, Product Manager. We are here to present the latest addition to our product offering, AI Cargo Next. Before we begin, we would like to understand your experience with AI Cargo so far, and anything you would like to talk about your business and our association.
Thank you very much, team. We have been part of AI Cargo for a long time, and it's really been a great journey so far. Being an e-commerce company, your tools have really helped us to streamline and optimize our supply chain and operations. The assurance AI Cargo provide in terms of data security has really been one of the main attributes for keep using it. But we still are facing a few issues regarding tracking our scope 3 emissions and our sustainability efforts. I'm really looking forward for this new iteration of your software and your presentation as well.
Thank you, Dr. Swan. I have a really good feeling that you will love our new product offering as it is designed to even further bolster our platform's capabilities, including the challenge you mentioned. So when we were conceptualizing the idea for our new product, we conducted extensive surveys with our clients and identified multiple pain points, including the scope 3 issue that you mentioned. Freight transportation alone contributes to 8% of global greenhouse gas emissions, including warehouse imports. The figure reaches a staggering 11%. Further, if current trend persists, the freight industry is projected to become the leading carbon emitter by 2050. One of the major challenges is the lack of standardization and transparency in logistic practices. This not only hinders our ability to trace product impacts, but also makes managing scope 3 emissions a formidable task. Further, inefficient route planning leads to increased fuel consumption and emissions. This problem is compounded by the limited use of renewable energy sources in the industry. We recommend advocating for standardization and transparency in logistic practices, promoting efficient route planning, and encouraging the adoption of renewable energy sources. Further, we address a common misconception. Sustainability is often seen as the sole responsibility of a specific role within an organization. However, the correct perspective is that sustainability should be an integral part of all organizational roles. This approach fosters innovation, cost efficiency, and corporate responsibility. Keeping all the previously mentioned situations and challenges in mind, we have decided to expand our product offerings by adding a new platform-based solution, AI Cargo Next. AI Cargo Next is not just a software suite, it's a game changer. It seamlessly integrates advanced AI tools, champions responsible supply chains, and taps into the potential of modern logistics networks. What does this mean for a business? Reduced carbon footprint, adaptability to evolving demands, and a commitment to more sustainable operations and circularity in the supply chain. Now let's talk tech. AI Cargo Next leverages cutting-edge technologies such as generative AI, digital twin, and machine learning. These are the tools we employ to address critical challenges faced by the global transportation industry, from tackling empty miles and warehouse inefficiencies to overcoming delays, enhancing supply diversity, and preventing equipment failures. Our software suite is designed to resolve these issues proactively. AI Cargo Next seamlessly integrates with our existing logistics data fabric. This isn't just a merger of technology, it's a marriage of advanced tools and human expertise. The result? A comprehensive solution that doesn't just address surface level problems, but goes deep into the intricacies of the supply chain. As a result, our tool addresses the urgent need for decarbonization. We believe in the power of technology to not just optimize processes, but to contribute meaningfully to a sustainable future. AI Cargo Next is not just about efficiency, it's about responsibility and innovation.
I really like the overview of your new offerings, but being a prior customer of AI Cargo, how does AI Cargo Next integrates with your existing portfolio, and how does it help us to improve our supply chain more? Further, why should new companies would select AI Cargo Next if they already have similar kind of a software in their store?
Thank you for the wonderful question, Dr. Swan. AI Cargo's open API allows for easy integration with popular sustainability management platforms like Enablon, ThinkStep, and Safira. Our team of engineers can ensure seamless data sharing between the systems. AI Cargo Next plans to leverage the tool offered by AI Cargo named eClimatic, designed specifically to measure emissions within the supply chain for companies. AI Cargo offers Next Source, Next Log, and Next Learn. We would be soon delving deeper into these individual offerings. However, let me tell you this, AI Cargo Next is accessible via a web platform and a dedicated application. We have adopted the freemium model, offering essential features for free, with premium functions accessible for an annual fee. A 2-year minimum contract is required for system integration. Companies can initiate this process through a straightforward sign-up on a platform. These offerings and technology capabilities distinguishes us from other offerings available in the industry. Now my colleague Spandan will take you through these individual offerings.
Thank you, Karthikeya, for the overview. Now, like Karthikeya mentioned, we are looking at three pillars in our AI Cargo Next solution. We look at source, log, and learn. With source, we are looking at responsible sourcing and leveraging the power of generative AI. With log, we are looking at the day-to-day operational sustainability activities at your place and leverage the digital twin and generative AI features. We are a firm believer of Project Drawdown, which believes that every job needs to be a sustainable job in future. And in order to do that, we have the Learn module, which focuses on ESG literacy and leverages AI chatbot feature. That being said, we have all the three pillars hosted in AWS carbon neutral data centers, which will minimize the scope 3 the contribution to your scope 3 emissions. Our unified coding system helps to tie your ERP, TMS, and LMS systems together, which helps in seamless data interchange. Our focus is simple: to make your supply chain more responsive and responsible, and also help you towards achieving your UNSDG goals for 8, 9, 10, 12, and 13. In addition to the features that Karthikeya previously mentioned, I would like to focus on the point of responsible AI and data privacy. We want to leverage AI responsibly by having ethical practices in place and also stringent policies that are complying with regulatory requirements. In addition, we have hosting our services in 256-bit data encrypted modules, which help in also achieving towards this. Our industry benchmarking feature is where you can create personas for your own company and helps measuring the performance of your company against that of other companies in the similar industry. It helps in better strategy formation and also a better competitive analysis. Before we dive down into each of the pillars that we spoke about, I would like to focus on the spider chart that you see. We have used the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board sustainability dimensions to focus on how your particular pillar will impact each of the 5 dimensions. With source, we are looking at generative AI in ethical sourcing and focusing on supply chain diversity to see that how diverse your supplier base is, and also looking at responsible procurement in order to see that what are the standards and environmental certifications that your suppliers need in terms of the industry that you're working in, and also try to work towards your better product lifecycle assessments and reduce your scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions. We see this directly impacting your UNSDG goal number 10 and 12, and we see that it has a decarbonization potential of approximately 12%. With the log module, we are planning to leverage the predictive analytics and digital twin. We have 3 offerings here: fleet optimization, warehouse efficiency, and predictive analytics. With fleet optimization, we are looking at effective route planning and also trying to focus on vehicle maintenance and alternate fuels that you can use. With warehouse efficiency, using digital twin, we create a virtual space of your physical space in order to understand that how you can effectively manage your layout and also your operational efficiency can be increased. With predictive analytics, we are supporting your forecasting principles, plus optimizing your inventory and suggesting what are the custom clearance and regulatory compliance for every country. We see this ultimately impacting your UNSDG goal number 8 and 9 and has a decarbonization potential of approximately 20 to 25%.
Well, I have a few questions here. So sourcing is something that is really important for a company. And we have a set of old suppliers with whom we have been working for more than 20 years and have really good relationship with them. So just wanted to understand how your source offering would help us in terms of improving our supply chain network and sustainability. Also, could you please elaborate on what basis this decarbonization potential is estimated?
Thank you for the question, Dr. Son. With respect to your source module, we don't expect you to change your supplier base overnight. What we do is with the source module, you can still track the existing certifications and sustainability practices that your current suppliers follow. We would then recommend alternate products and alternate suppliers in a phased manner, and then you can change it accordingly. With respect to the decarbonization potential, we are looking at both internal and external analysis. With internal, we have looked at companies that have implemented similar strategies and what's the decarbonization that they have achieved over the years. With external, we have looked into the sustainability reports that various companies have published and implemented similar strategies and seen that on an average for a module like source and log, the decarbonization potential is approximately 12% and 25% respectively.
Thank you very much for your insights, Spandan.
Thanks a lot. And now I'll hand it over to Himanshu.
Yeah, thank you, Spandan. So now talking about the Learn solution. This is custom-tailored ESG education for every role powered by AI chatbot technology. So this will support your company's UN SDG goals, specifically Goal 4, that is quality education, and Goal 13, which is climate action. So we have three offerings of this solution. Number one is the ESG literacy. So educating employees on ESG principles is vital for their active participation in the company's sustainability initiatives, enabling them to grasp and contribute to the UN SDG goals. For example, after learning energy saving strategies through the ESG program, the same employee could lead a switch off initiative to cut down on power waste, thereby directly supporting the company's commitment to environmental sustainability. Second offering is the dynamic standards tracking. So it refers to the continuous monitoring of the ever-evolving global standards and norms in ESG criteria. The goal is to keep decision makers informed about the latest developments in ESG requirements. For instance, if new environmental regulations are introduced, a company would adjust its sustainability practices to comply with these changes, ensuring it stays ahead in its ESG commitments. Our third solution offering is the role-specific goals. So the program offers role-specific ESG guidance showing how each employee can support sustainability, like a marketing executive driving eco campaigns or an operations manager cutting manufacturing waste, making ESG goals personal and achievable. Our research indicates that decarbonization potential of a client company after implementing our solution will be about 8%.
All of it looks very interesting, Himanshu, but how does the Learn module help our company with our decarbonization efforts?
That's a terrific question, Dr. Son. So to answer that, the Learn module enhances decarbonization by educating staff on ESG principles, including strategies to reduce carbon emissions. It underscores integrating these practices in everyday work across the company. It aligns roles with sustainability targets, enabling employees to actively reduce carbon footprints. Employees with high decarbonization impact could adopt sustainable travel and low carbon transport, while others might reduce travel, use teleconferencing, or carpool to cut emissions. So now moving on to the next slide, here we are showcasing how AI Cargo Next stands out in the market. It's fully aligned with UN sustainability goals, ahead of the varied focus of others. Our AI is deeply integrated, not just for efficiency, but for smarter operations. We offer customized training for each role, unlike the generic approach of our competitors. Our route and fleet management are cutting edge, ensuring superior performance. Security is top-notch and a priority with AI Cargo Next. Integration is smooth thanks to our unified coding, and we champion sovereign control for open source and benchmarking, which sets it apart from others' closed systems. So our product leads in sustainability, AI use, and system sophistication. Now moving on to the next slide, here we have outlined a 4-month implementation timeline for our project, broken down into 3 stages. The stage 1 will be the pulse check. So in the first and second month, activities include establishing the project baseline and setting goals, developing supplier evaluation criteria, and preparing a detailed integration plan. These foundational steps are crucial for setting the direction and standards of the project. Our second stage is build and track. So starting in the second month and continuing into the third, this phase initiates the integration of AI Cargo Next with current systems. It involves monitoring progress, resolving emerging issues, and regularly engaging with stakeholders for feedback and fine-tuning to keep the project aligned with user needs. Our last stage is training and handover. So in the final month, comprehensive training sessions are conducted to ensure that all internal teams are equipped to use the new system. The project concludes with a handover to these internal teams, signaling the end of the active implementation phase and the start of regular operations. With this, I would like to ask Dr. Son for any further questions if he has.
Thank you very much for your presentation, and all of your offering looks great. I don't have any further questions.
So thank you for your feedback, Dr. Son. And with this, we are now open for questions from the jury. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that presentation. Now we'll move to the question and answers period. And I will stop sharing your screen for now. Okay, judges, we want to start with, can I start with you, Richard Gluck? Do you have any questions for the students?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, but I can't see you. Can you turn your
Oh,
camera
oh,
on?
sorry.
There you go.
I do have a few questions. There was a slide that talked about the integration of the ERP systems, TMS, and LMS. So I'm wondering, since a lot of the ERP systems already include TMS and LMS, what would this product add to what's already out there in the marketplace?
Thank you for the question, Richard. So with that, what we're trying to say is that in addition to your LMS, TMS systems that are and ERP systems that are already there, our particular tool, what it does is we come up with a unified coding system. So it's nothing but having a standard code across all the systems that are there, be it our own systems like the eClimatic, which is a part of AI Cargo Next, and also which will help in direct communication and discussions based on the unified coding that's there across all the systems. Because currently what happens is that, say, for example, client A in X system is termed as sort of say Spandan, but the same client in a different system is named as Himanshu. In order to just make sure that we have a seamless data interchange, we are coming up with a unified coding system, which will help in seamless translation data interchange. And it's not just in the LMS and the TMS system, but also with our own system, in order to understand that if you're looking at, say, X shipment, what's the kind of emission that's coming out of it, and what are the sort of other sustainability practices that we should look at when it comes to sourcing.
So that kind of leads me to the next question I had, which is that one of the problems that's bedeviled the industry for many, many years is the issue of data silos and information gaps within the sources of data. And I'm wondering not so much about the integration that you just described, but the sourcing of the data and how you would source the data needed to conduct the analysis that you want to conduct, since it's coming from so many different external systems. And I guess not to make this a too complicated a question, but I think the source of the data is very important. And then the next step would be how you would use the data in the decarbonization process. Maybe those are two separate questions. Let's just start with the data sourcing question and the external data sourcing question.
So anyone wants to go ahead? So what we do is that with our solution that we're using, and just because we are a company which is looking at AI, if you look into if I can just share the screen, I'll just try to explain what we are doing. What I'm trying to show is that we are looking at a lot of APIs, which will help, and AI algorithms that will help in actually integrating with the systems that you're talking, and which will help in proper sourcing of information. So if you see this particular slide that we have developed, it talks about how we are going to collect using various application interfaces, which will be installed in these ERP systems. So we already see that there are companies like Watershed, for example, where they are leveraging the tool or the power of AI in order to just source the information from the respective sort of sources, like you rightly mentioned, and which also validates the kind of data that's coming into the system, whether it's accurate or not. And that's precisely when we are talking about integration. We are looking at a 4-month period, because we understand that it's not just that we can simply integrate with the systems. It takes a bit of time, and a lot of validation comes in. There will be APIs that will be installed in these sources in order to get the right amount of data and the right metrics as well. I hope that answers the question.
And just to add on that, that part about the source. So not only for the sourcing part, but we are also going to analyze the historical data of the company who is working with us, where we are, implementing our AI solutions. And on the basis of that also, we'll be connecting it to the sourcing option.
So you would need to get the cooperation of transportation providers and other suppliers that are external to the client system to make this work then, is that right?
What we are trying to say is that imagine like an Excel macros that we have. So it will be installed in the customer's information system, not necessarily at the transportation providers, because like you rightly said, the transportation provider already has information that is being shared with the customer. It's about harnessing that information from the customer's information in order to give them the solution that we are proposing. So the APIs that we are seeing will also be installed in the customer's systems from where it will be sourced.
I guess I don't want to take up all the time for the questioning. I did have one other one that was based on recent news. There was an announcement at the COP meeting in Dubai yesterday from the 5 biggest ocean shipping lines that they are committed to decarbonization by 2050. I was wondering how your product might integrate into that initiative.
So I can answer that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll-
So like you rightly said, that our through the LMS systems that we are integrating, for example, every ocean line or shipping line, whenever they are using or they are using a decarbonization tool or using such sustainability initiatives, usually in the bill of lading, you have the carbon emissions already mentioned over there. So like we said, with the logistics data that we are going to get from the suppliers, we are sure that we can get the source of what's the carbon emissions coming out of a particular shipment, whether they're using the sustainability fuel or not, based on which we can see that probably on a per unit level, what's the emission coming to, and try to see that how it has helped. That being said, we often see that there are the cargo ships or the shipping containers are charging a premium these days when it comes to supporting a fuel or alternate fuels surcharges. So we'll then give solutions in order to understand that with the increased investment in cost, what's the sustainability benefit that you're getting out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just to add on that, after 2021, as per the latest amendments in the MARPOL Annex 6, the shipping companies every ship is declaring their carbon emissions, on a yearly basis to IMO. And the shipping companies, they are very much happy to share that information to the charters and to the other person for tracking, how much it has been, because the oil majors, they have been consistently, like, for example, the Chevron, the Shell, or the ExxonMobil, they have been consistently seeing these issues. And that's the reason in 2021, they switched over, as per the guidelines, to the low sulfur fuel oils and the high sulfur fuel oils with the installation of the scrubbers across. So the shipping companies, they are monitoring, because they have to comply with the rules and regulations, and especially for the HSFO in the US Gulf of Mexico. And they are reporting to many authorities, for example, to the Custom Border Protection and to the charters and to the shippers. And they are very happy to report it to their customers also. And side by side, they are also reporting to the IMO. So that's an open platform where we can track the emissions, how much the shipping companies they are, and what is the year-on-year progress they are making, and which shipping lines or which shipping companies are making more progress towards the sustainable initiatives. So that sort of recommendation can be based upon that, when we are filtering out the data for the shipping companies who are moving more proactively towards the carbon emissions, to achieving that carbon emissions in the shipping industry.
And just to add on to that, currently the problem with the marine industry is that the closest solution is the renewable biodiesel and methanol. However, there is not much production volume available globally to kind of replace the entire diesel requirement of the industry. So we have this one of our solutions, the next log, that would be kind of filtering out how many geographical location do have a certain availability of renewable biodiesel and certain alternative fuels which can be used. And the marine industry clearly knows that it won't be easy to decarbonize them. That's why they are taking a goal of 2050. They want to first make a commercially viable 100% renewable cargo vessel by 2030. So it is in a long term, but we have designed our product offering in a visionary manner that we would be able to solve this chicken egg problem which the marine industry is right now facing with.
Thank you. I should cede the rest of the time to the other judges. Sorry, I
Okay.
took up so much of the time.
That's fine, Richard. Thank you, Richard. Now, does any of the other two judges have any questions? Mr. Yarwood, Dr. Abate?
Hello.
Yes.
I'm not sure whether my video is
Your
going to
camera is
work.
not on. Can you turn on your camera?
No, I'm not sure it's going to work. Bear with me
There
a
you go.
second. There I am. Thank you very much for the invitation, and thank you. Really enjoyed the presentation. Thought it was really sort of informative. It really took my sort of attention with the next learn pillar. I think that's a really neat solution. Just one or two questions quickly from my side was in terms of the technology. Am I right in thinking that that's ready in the background, ready to go, or is there some more development needed on that side of things from your end?
It's ready to go. It's already ready to go, and it's built on the existing logistics data fabric that AI Cargo already has.
Okay, perfect. And then how realistic do you think the chart that you showed about implementation within sort of 4 months, I assume that was from the moment of sort of engaging with a client and working through then the various APIs and data sharing agreements. Do you feel that is kind of a realistic time frame? I'm just thinking some of the projects that I've been involved in the last sort of 12, 18 months I wish they'd only lasted 4.
Yeah.
To answer that, I think that is a very much the timeline is very much practical, and we can do that because I was a supply chain consultant with a company, and we had a major Fortune 100 company where we were implementing like the digital logistics and all these aspects to improve that. And we sort of had around 1.5 weeks to maximum 2 weeks of assessment time frame, and within that we were preparing the the staging plan, and it all completed within around 3.5 months. So to be on the safe side, we implemented, that was a Fortune 100 company, big company, and so that was the timeline. We kind of dedicated a little bit more to be on the safer side so that we don't rush with our AI solutions or with the approaches. But that is the practical aspect, what we have seen and what we have experienced in the past. So I think this is very much practical deadline what we have covered over there.
Excellent. And maybe just one final question in terms, you mentioned sort of the generative AI digital twins, which in my mind are very different things in terms of moving a logistics operation towards net zero. In terms of the deliverable after 4 months, is that all available all at once, or are there then sort of individual projects that you would foresee entering into with clients?
Absolutely, and you rightly pointed out in that direction. So this is not something that we are trying to say is that everything will be available at once. It depends on the kind of features that a customer wants to look into or look for. For example, if you're looking at digital twin, to create a virtual space would take more time compared to just implementing a generative AI in your just for vehicle maintenance. So that is how it changes, and the timeline is an approximation based on the kind of features that typically companies have. Digital twin, we feel, is quite a premium feature, and it can be possibly there are specific companies that will be going for it. So for that, probably we'll have a longer timeline compared to this one.
Just to add over it, it is an iterative process using ML and AI. So it keeps on improving as we gather more data and data. So it will keep on improving as the time goes on.
Perfect. Just picking up on that, probably every customer is going to want different things from you. So yeah, that's really useful. Thank you. I don't have any further questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. That's about the time we have for questioning, but I just wanted to leave opportunity for Dr. Abate to ask one last question. Dr. Abate, do you have any questions?
No, not at this moment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you everyone for your participation in the wonderful presentation. And we'll look forward to publishing the results at the end of the week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
so
you all.
much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Very interesting presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Bye. Thanks.